Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosa Psychic Investigator. Hello, huh? Everybody, welcome. Rosa Psychic Investigator. So, guys, I just did a video that it's processing. It's a bit slow because I'm home, and when I'm home, it does not so fast. So, anyway, I did a video about Saudi Arabia's role, MBS role in pushing for the war, and it was really one of the most interesting videos. Things not going to end well for him at all. His end is comes sooner than he thinks. But with that, I had this image at, from that vision, the video, and the visions I had in that video that showed MBS depending like a American blood being he's getting fed with American blood. American blood being the power of the US, but also I was wondering soldiers. And we are seeing that Trump has a lot of, as usual, mixed messages. But the Pentagon appears to be pushing for troops. And as insane as it is, they are truly pushing for a Putin-like turn. Like, guys, that Putin got 1 million Russians killed for the crazy Ukraine war. So clearly they don't care about Americans. We know that, we know. But um, it's really obvious, right? Guys, I have to say, I just did this video. It's long, but I feel so energized. I feel good about it. So in other words, there's something I feel that's truthful, that is energizing. So I don't really think that they're going to achieve their goals. A lot more troops have passed, as I have talked about, than we are aware of. And it's telling me already, Rosie, it's gonna come out sooner than you think. So let's do the protection, and then we'll start. Okay, so I'd like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and all the good, so it is. So, by the way, I made that video about Saudi Arabia's role in pushing Trump towards the war, but it may be that I publish this one first. Okay, I don't know quite yet how it's going to be, but let's do that now. Before I start, I want to send energy to all the troops who might be on their way, who are on their way, and the ones that are there in precarious conditions, because we know that trash does not care about troops, right? So ask for protection for them and for the families. Some of you write in comments, right, are here and they're really worried about their kids because their kids' lives matter to them. Of course they do, because their lives matter, right? Their lives matter. Why would they fight for something that is just about like money or whatever it is? Insanity. And protecting those bad people. So let's see. Okay, so studying energy, so that many information you might have. Welcome. And who comes through? John McCain. And he's just like this. Oh my God. But so I've shown an image, and it's I don't know the name of the vehicle, whatever we call it. It's like it's a ship. Oh, but it's a really, really big one. And that it could be the one, the ones that have airplanes on top, like transporting things. So I see that they may already be there, or they may be on their way, and they're really apprehensive, and they're watching from very far away. They're seeing all the explosions, all those things. And I see they're not allowed to look at information. They're being restricted. Like I feel like they can't watch the news or something, but people back home send them information. They're scared, okay. But then I see that suddenly there's news. They were waiting. They thought they were going to be deployed, and they're like ecstatic. They're like, "Oh yes, that trash is gone." So I don't know if there's alcohol available, but they're so happy. They're celebrating. They're hugging because I see the Joe McCain um showed me that it was like that there were troops before the Vietnam War started. And I think during even there were people that were stationed far away from like actual Vietnam to wait for orders, and so it's kind of like that's the scenario. That's where they are now, but that it may be that they're not going to be sent in. And I need to ask this question, okay? Are they going to be sent? They're going to be boots on the ground because again, the vision of MBS wanting American blood to feed him, right? To feed his craziness and him buying services of the like from Trump. American Army as if the American Army were a militia that he could hire. Okay. So is it going to okay, is it no. And I see that his hands are MBS's hands are gonna be cut. No, it's not going to. So they're preparing. And I see again in the military, guys, the military is moving troops there. They know it's a worst case scenario. There's a lot of people trying to have Trump stop this, but again, like I said, he enjoys it because he likes destruction. He enjoys seeing that people are scared and they're suffering. That's his bread and butter, right? But yeah, I see that it will not come to that point. So okay, I have a question. I saw the vision I had said about the big picture and this. I had seen that I had asked about Clark Islands. You know how they have this obsession about occupying Clark Islands, and there's an explosion that changes everything. Tell me, how does this relate to the vision of the troops in the middle of the ocean waiting for something to happen, like for them to be called in, and then they celebrate because Trump goes. So what is it? It may be that they may try again, but things just turn around. It tells me, Rosie, don't ask the how. Just know that it's saying it will happen. So I have a question. Okay, guys, this is kind of interesting. Sometimes it happens that I do the questions without looking at an article. Maybe we will look at the article, but it's just coming to me. So I have a question, and this is a really tough question, but I feel like I need to ask this question. How many troops will we have more than 1,000 American casualties because of this? Nobody's saying it could be more than 500. That's what I think. Maybe, but also I'm biased, I have to say. Are we going to send troops on the ground? Because on the other thing, I think that Bibi even said, Bibi, we'll talk about MBS, but then also Bibi's like, oh yeah, come here to Lebanon, help me out in Lebanon. So no, it's saying no. And I see that that's saying that's why the swift of Trump is going to have the cut of Trump out of removing Trump from office has to be swift because again, these men, MBS and Bibi, are both pushing buttons that are powerful. One is the threat, right, and the distraction from the Epstein files, and the other is the the money, lots of money that he's basically Trump is pimping out the military to achieve Saudi Arabia's goals. So so this is that. And that's why his removal is so important because it's gonna get us all killed. I'm not funny, but really, make no mistake, this guy does not have any. He's completely devoid of any kind of reason. He's a devil. He's completely a devilish creature. He has no morals. He has cheated his entire life. He has hurt people that supported him. That's who he is. We know that. Like even a lot of the people that are politicians know that about him too, but they think it's going to be different this time. It's not. So so this okay, this kind of confirms it. All right. So okay, I have a question since we're talking about troops. But what if JD Vance? I mean, and by the way, I have seen yes that JD Vance does not take power, but I do need to ask this question. But what if JD Vance word is JD Vance going to take power? Every time I have to ask it again, just to get right confirmation or more information or whatever. So is JD Vance gonna maybe do the same thing, JD Vance or whoever comes next? The devil's advocate question. So, all right, can I get no? Interesting. I see the image of the military putting almost like a acrylic like gate or something around surrounding all the administration and just pushing all of them away. No, 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 none of you, none of you. So it doesn't look like people are because it's saying that's guys, can you believe it? Like we have seen treason years ago, right? When he was like the days after the first administration, he was giving Lavrov information. Remember that picture of them? And this has been almost like what, 10 years ago? 10 years ago. And it continues. Now we're seeing that the treason just gets more, it's increasing. It's insane. And that the military, it wasn't enough that there was treason before. Now that he's killing Americans pretty much. He's using the military to help Israel, to help Saudi Arabia. Like that's, so something has to be done. And I want to tell you something kind of, interesting. So yesterday, this guy, he's I guess a nice person, relatively like on the good side. It's an ambassador. I forgot his name. I see his face. He's ginger. McFall, ambassador during the Obama administration in Russia. So I follow him on Twitter, and I just got mad at him. Not just, but I've been getting mad at him because he's always, first of all, he's pushing the whole Iran, like, oh, Iran, this regime, let's change the regime, whatever. And then I'm like, he's like, oh, I wonder why Trump is like this and like that. And it's like, I'm like, you know what? How do you live with yourself? You could have done something. Like, why didn't you do something when you could have you're in the position to do something? Like, it makes me, in a way, just not just as angry, but very angry that we know where there's people who have known about this for years, for decades, and they did nothing. And this is the situation where it is. So actually, he replied. He said, and he sent me an old video of his saying why Putin and Trump are friends. And then he said, but I was never as powerful as you think I am. And I haven't responded to him, but it was nice of him to reply. But it's kind of like this era has to end because men, I'm sorry, I have to just say it, men are like nobody. So if he was the ambassador to Russia, of course he would never, be able to like for security reasons, they can't say if he's done something even. But I'm saying like it should be illegal that people in the government, when they see something wrong, they don't do something. They have to terminate the situation immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, yet we have known for decades that this guy works for Russia, that he's bought and sold, and he has this pedo business. Nobody does anything significant. It's kind of like that in itself should be a crime. Because how the hell is that even possible? So anyway, went off. Because this is a situation now, people are getting killed. Innocent people are getting killed, right? Troops are being used and abused, and like, but I see that it's not gonna last that much longer. But it has to come to this point. We have to change everything, or we're not gonna survive. Okay. All right. So now that I've already done the reading pretty much, let's look at this article. All right. Okay.